It may look like a collection of chicken sheds, but car enthusiasts wouldn't have it any other way. This is where they make Aston Martin's famous V cars, the Virage, the Volante, and this one, fastest of them all, the Vantage. For me, this place, Newport Pagnell, about 50 miles north of London, has always meant just one thing. It's the home of Aston Martin. And for 80 years, for about 40 years on this site, the company has done one thing. It's produced extremely fast, extremely expensive, hand-built sports cars. But about a year ago, things changed. They started to make the DB7, which is a slightly less expensive, slightly easier to build car on a different site. But right here at Newport Pagnell, they still make their V cars the most exclusive, the fastest, and the most expensive Aston Martins of the lot. This is one of the last places on Earth where cars are truly shaped by hand. Every curve, every crease is beaten into the alloy skin by these craftsmen, many of whom have been at Aston Martin man and boy. Roger Stowers has been here longer than most of them.
We make more of our own car here than anybody else in the world, and that really is a plain statement of fact. We simply have to. When you do as few as we do, there are not many people who want to help you do so, because it's just, there's nothing in it for them. So you have to be self-reliant, and we're certainly that. We build these cars to absolutely individual orders, and if an owner wants to come and see his car being built, then we're delighted if we should want to do so. In everything we do, we are the equivalent of the French fashion houses, shirt makers, boot makers, in all their various callings. We do exactly that with a motor car.
Even the mighty engine is built by a solitary, skilled technician. I've been in loads of car factories, Roy, and I've never seen one where somebody has built the engine from start to finish. Is that a good way to work?
I think it is, yeah, because at the end of the day, you've got that sole responsibility. If anything goes, I mean, my name is on that engine. If there's anything wrong with it, then it's down to me.
Where does your name actually go?
It sits on the top of the fuel rails.
Must make you pretty proud.
Oh, yeah, very proud indeed.
Aston owners undoubtedly go to Savile Row for their suits, and they don't want anything less than tailored interiors for their cars. This trim department will finish a car any way an owner wants, but always in top quality Connolly leather. Well, that was Newport Pagnell, but how were things 50 miles away at the DB7 factory? I set off to find out, savouring the Vantage on the way. What we have here is a classic Newport Pagnell Aston Martin. It's a very big car. It's got a massive V8 under the bonnet, same as they've been putting there since 1970. 550 horsepower worth, 2 superchargers, so it goes like the clappers, of course. The critics of this car would say it was too big and was a truck. At nearly 2 tons, it isn't very agile. What's mildly surprising to me, in view of all the panel bashing that we've seen at Newport Pagnell, is that this car comes out so well. It is very professionally finished. The trim is lovely, all leather, of course, but the panels are very good, the paint's very good, everything fits really quite precisely. All the classical Aston Martin interior features are here, of course. Loads of leather, nice walnut dashboard, enough dials without being too many. The greatest thing here, as far as I'm concerned, is the boost gauge, which is right in your eye line. And it says here, supercharged underneath. Just a little reminder. The best reminder, of course, is to give it a bit of a flick with your right foot, and then it goes. So we did go, all the way to Bloxham in the Cotswolds, to Wickham Mill, home of the DB7. This is what the Vantage specialises in, arrivals. That was amazing. What a monster this car is. But the thing that's most striking about it is that the whole car is subservient to the engine. Let me show you what's under the lid here. I think I can guarantee that you won't find an engine like this under the average bonnet. I mean, take a look at this thing. It looks like it belongs in a power station, doesn't it? These two finned objects on the top are the twin superchargers. Underneath, somewhere underneath all this trunking, is a 32 valve V8, 5.3 litres, plenty of power, in fact enough power to take this 3,800 weight structure and throw it down the road like a feather in the breeze. But that's enough horsepower talk. We were here to look at DB7s. I was shown around by Andy Watt, who's been with the DB7 since the beginning. So Andy, I've just been in Newport Pagnell and I looked at the beginning of the line there and there was a load of tubes and steel sheet. It's obviously not like that here.
No, we built DB7 in a different way. We've worked with a number of engineering partners in building the body, the axles, the engine and so on. In fact, the body comes into us fully painted.
Oh, I see.
Having been painted by Rolls-Royce.
Ah.
We then obviously take the car onto the track and hand assemble the car. So it still goes together by hand, but in a slightly different way.
So this is a hand-built engine?
Still a hand-built engine, manufactured by a team of engine builders at TWR. And then it comes into us fully tested, and we then just drop it in the car.
I was going to say, I don't see many robots around here.
No, we've got one overhead hoist that we use to drop the engine in, but I guess that's just because the guys can't lift it.
When I was in Newport Pagnell, they told me that it takes 4 months in the factory for a car to be built. What's the story here?
Well, excluding the time it takes for Rolls-Royce to paint the car and motor panels to build the body, you're looking at about a 2-week time from door to door.
Oh, really? Well, they do look very good, I must say.
So, would you fancy taking a drive?
Only a lot. Obviously, at half the price of Advantage, the DB7 isn't as big or as powerful, but for my money, it is every bit as beautiful, and it goes rather well, too. The thing that makes me feel so pleased about this car is that it is a genuine Aston Martin. It's quite closely related to the cars that go back as far as the 50s. If you stand behind it, you can see lines that are reminiscent of the DB2, which was built in the 50s. The controls are much lighter than they are in Advantage. It's an easier car to drive all round. Very good brake bite, crisp steering. It isn't a raucous sports car, this at all, and the power is not the explosive V8 kind of stuff. It's much more elastic. It has plenty of there, 335 horsepower, but it isn't a big kick in the back, Detroit style. Not your hot rod at all, much more your European thoroughbred. And to go with the power, European stability, handling and brakes. And from what my spies say, there are more exotic DB7s on the way. Already they're at work on a convertible and a fast Advantage version too. The DB7 is going to be very important in Aston Martin's future.